shit, bitch be up in my DMs. Send naked pics trying to taste my semen. Bet I can paint the face like it's murder season. Tampa villains, we the realest breed. I'm talking CEOs in business meetings. But you the type that'll kill for the pussy. Catch AIDS and get ill for the pussy. Cheat on Hillary like Bill for the pussy. Stay in the court and just squeal for the pussy like
Tekashi69. This paperwork got released. It's the whole thing. It's so the guys are Mel Murder is in this from Bird Gang. Okay, so Jamel Jones, Cafano Jordan, Shotty. That's Shotty Genzel Butler Ish. Is that Joe Budden Ish that Joe Budden always talks about Ish on his podcast? That's interesting. Daniel Hernandez, Tekashi69, Fagwan Lavik, Fubanga, that's Fubanga, and then Fareem Waka is Crippy. I think that's the one that used to be with 50 Cent, I'm not sure. But it's the United States of America versus all these guys. Okay, so count one is racketeering conspiracy, Jones, Jordan, Butler, Hernandez, and Walter. The Enterprise. I love how they write these things. It's like some big super story. It's probably elaborated, but at all times relevant to this indictment, Jamel Jones, Mel Murder, Cafino, Genzel Butler, Ish, all these people, others known and unknown, were members and associates of 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods, a criminal organization whose members and associates engaged in, among other activities, acts involving murder, robbery, narcotics trafficking. 9 Trey operated in and around Manhattan, the Bronx, Brooklyn, and New York. Part 2. 9 Trey, including the leadership, its membership, and associates, constituted an enterprise as defined by Title 18, is a group of individuals associated, in fact, although not legal entity. The enterprise constituted an ongoing organization whose members function as continuing unit for a common purpose of achieving the objectives of the enterprise. I feel like I'm reading a textbook. At all times relevant to this indictment, the enterprise was engaged in and its activities affected interstate and foreign commerce. Jamel Jones, Mel Murder, Cafino Jordan, they name all the people. The defendants participated in the operation and management of the enterprise, participating in unlawful and other activity in furtherance of the conduct of the enterprise affairs. 3. Members and associates of 9 Trey engaged in series of violent disputes with rivals of 9 Trey, including who's within 9 Trey whose they deemed disloyal to the enterprise. During these disputes, members and associates of 9 Trey committed multiple shootings, robberies, assaults against their rivals, against fellow 9 Trey members. Part 4. Members and associates of 9 Trey sold heroin, fentanyl, all this stuff, MDMA. They named like every drug, okay? in the whole New York area, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Bronx, New York. Members and associates of 9 Trey committed and agreed, attempted, and threatened to commit violence to protect and expand their narcotics business to protect fellow members and associates of the enterprise. These acts of violence include acts involving murder, robbery, extortion, and assault, intended either to protect the enterprise of narcotic business, retaliate against members of rival gangs who had encroached on the... This is like a movie. Rival gangs standing in reputation of 9 Trey members. Purposes of the enterprise. The purpose of the enterprise included the following: preserving and protecting the power, territory, and profits of the enterprise through acts involving murder, violence, and threats of violence. Promoting and enhancing the enterprise and activities in its members and associates, keeping victims and potential victims in fear of the enterprise and its members and associates through acts and threats of violence. Providing assistance to members and associates who committed crimes for the behalf of the gang. Enriching members and associates of the enterprise through, among other things, robbery and distribution of sale of narcotics, including heroin, fentanyl, all this stuff. Protecting the enterprise and its members and associates from detection and prosecution by law enforcement authorities through acts of intimidation, violence against potential witnesses of crimes committed by the enterprise. See, okay, I'm going to tell you something. I just thought about something. We kept seeing Tekashi69 beating court and letting him out. When that happens, you usually have a federal investigation on you. You can tell when someone keeps getting away with stuff. I'm not going to name a rapper's name, but I see a rapper who we're just seeing federal indictments coming down on a rapper rival that's been going on for the past couple years, and I guarantee you, and I don't mean to sound negative. It's just how the government works. When you say like, "Geez, they're not arresting anybody," they're building a federal case against you, and that's what's scary. Big Meech knew this was happening. That's why he started doing the Smack. I mean, this is why I assume he was doing Smack DVD and everything. He was trying to move into a legal business before he knew they were building a case against him for a couple of years. Okay, so then let's continue with this. Means and methods of the enterprise. Among the means employed by the members and associates in participating in conduct of affairs of the enterprise are the following. Members and associates of the enterprise committed, conspired, attempted to threaten to commit acts of violence. Okay, they keep repeating this. Members and associates of the enterprise use threats of violence. Okay, we know that. Members and associates of the enterprise committed, conspired, attempted, and threatened to commit acts of violence to other individuals in the enterprise. Members and associates of the enterprise promoted and celebrated criminal conduct of the enterprise on social media. This is why you do not put any of your business on social media. They use it against you in court. Members and associates of the enterprise distributed controlled substances, racketeering conspiracy. From at least, or in about 2013 up to including in or about November 2018 in Southern District of New York and elsewhere. Mel Murder, Kafino Jordan, a.k.a. Shadi, Genzel Butler, and Daniel Hernandez. Fareem Walker, Crippy, the defendants and other known and unknown being persons employed by and associated with the enterprise described in paragraphs 1 through 7 of the indictment, namely 9 Trey, which enterprise engaged in and activities which affected interstate foreign commerce, knowingly combined, conspired, confederate, naming all these words, I feel like I'm talking to T.I. or something, and agreed together with each other to violate racketeering laws in the United States, to which Section 1962, Title 18, United States Code, that is to conduct, participate directly and indirectly in the conduct of affairs. Man, they could wrap this up in 2 pages, honestly. Now, do we believe that they repeat everything that I just read to you? You know, oh, they intimidated people with this. Okay, so it's like, do we believe that Tekashi69 headed up this whole thing since 2013? That would have been 5 years ago. I think he's 22. He would have been 17, right? I don't think so. I don't think he would have enough respect at 17 to run a whole thing like this. And I don't think he would have been sleeping on his mom's closet, like he says, up until a year ago if he was doing all this stuff, right? If you're distributing this amount of product and you're sleeping in your mom's closet, yeah, you're doing the wrong job. So then it says count 2, firearms offense, racketeering conspiracy. From in or at least 2013 up to including November 2018, connection with robbery on about April 3rd, 2018 in vicinity of West 40th Street and 8th Avenue. Counts 3 through 5 of this indictment. All people, and in relation to a crime. That was this when Trippie Redd got robbed? April, May. Is this when Trippie Redd got robbed? And then so is Trippie Redd turning people in? The defendants during the retaliation to a crime of violence which they prosecuted in the court in the United States, racketeering conspiracy, did possess. Is this Trippie Redd that they're talking about right here? Someone do some research on that. When did Trippie Redd have that altercation in the hotel with some of 6ix9ine's people? Because this could be that incident. It might have happened earlier than that, though. It might have happened like February, but I'm not sure. Then it says carry firearms, did possess firearms, and did abet and use carrying possession of firearms through which brandished and discharged. Count 3, violent crime aid racketeering, April 3rd, 2018. At all times during this indictment, 9 Trey is described paragraphs 1 through 7. Count of this indictment, reported and corroborated. Let me get to the good part. They keep repeating the whole indictment in each section. That's why it's so long. Would pay a thing of preliminary value to 9 Trey, and for gaining entrance and maintaining increased position to. So was this the Barclays incident, or was this the incident with? It's not really saying, but they say this is in Manhattan. So, but I know there's another section in here where it's tied to the Barclays incident too. Where, supposedly a firearm went off, but nobody got arrested. This is on others agreed to rob at gunpoint rivals of 9 Trey in the vicinity of 40th Street and 8th Avenue. So that's definitely not Barclays. Barclays is in Brooklyn. This has to be that incident, because this is not the incident where the outside of the hotel that happened recently. Here's another one: violent crime in Aiden racketeering, April 21st, 2018. Love it. It says 9 Trey describes paragraph 1 through 7 of this indictment. Let's see which one incident this took place at. Levick fired a gunshot at rivals of 9 Trey, and encountering them at the Barclays Center. This is that one. So this happened at the end of April. This is the Barclays incident. Count 7, firearms offense. April 21st. This is the same thing, but discharging a firearm in public. Count 8. This has to do with July 16th, 2018. This one took place Fulton Street, in the vicinity of Fulton Street in Utica Avenue in Brooklyn. Now, was this when they had the problem with Casanova, or did that get squashed at that point already? I can't remember. But I remember there was an altercation, and then there was that footage of Shoddy running from the Suburban that was on social media, and they were trying to arrest him for that. That might have been that incident. I don't know. Then there's another forfeiture allegation as count 1. Let's see. Crippy United States. I think this is the same part of this. This is detailing distribution of drugs, and this includes everyone in this one. Like, I don't think Tekashi69 had anything to do with that, honestly. So the question is here: they're going to put that pressure on 6ix9ine and try to get him to flip. But if he has a good lawyer, he could probably cut this down a lot. But we know he's going to go back to jail no matter what, because he has that other case where the judge let him go because she said that she let him go, but if he does violate or get in trouble with the law, they were going to lock him up again. And that was to do with that other case with the girl in a video, and he got charged with something for that. I don't know, guys. We'll have to see what happens here, but as far as I know, this is done for information. We're not going to get any more information to probably... With the feds, with no bail or anything, we still don't know what's happening to Rollo. And we have no updates on AR app. I think they just let you sit there forever. I mean, look, Taxstone's still in there on federal indictment from 2 years ago, right? So they arrested him 6 months after the fact. Been there almost a year and a half, right? No updates.